Hey folks, Tim Newman with Soft Lite Studios bringing yet another daily assignment your way. Today's assignment for August 10th, 2019. Our assignment today is titled Rust. Now here's an assignment that I am sure will make you feel old and worn out, kind of the way I feel every morning when I wake up. Grab some images of rust, and not just rust for rust's sake. Try to find some images that put that rust into context and make for an overall compelling image. Let's take a look at a sample image here. Now, I just said not rust for rust's sake, but this pretty much is exactly that. So I broke my own rule right out of the gate, but I really like this image. I love the color contrast here. The implied diagonal working its way across the frame is subtle, but it's there, and I think the quality of light is pretty awesome here in order to get this image to look the way it looks. In our next image, clearly some rust. This can is rusting out, and we've got a lot of rust flakes in the picture. I love the macro point of view. I like the off-center alignment of the can within the frame and the rust there. I think that works really, really well here instead of having it centered right up. And I think the quality of light and the color set here are pretty great. Let's take a look at some elements of design that matter to us. Obviously, shadow is important here. Shadow is where we get texture from. So our off-angle light is going to create shadow, and it's going to create that really great texture. Your high overhead lights are going to be tough for this rust assignment, so you're looking for stuff that's early in the morning, later in the day, or where you are specifically controlling light that's hitting the rusty surface. Last but not least, I think rust can be an element that conveys age and tactile quality, and I think a lot of space works well in conjunction with the rust in these pictures. We've got some more sample images here to take a look at. I like this one here, the old rusty horseshoes all lined up here, hanging on this wire in the barn. I think it's pretty cool. I really like the way the interior shape of all of the horseshoes kind of leads you through the image out to the background, which is pleasingly out of focus and displaying some nice bokeh. So I think this image works really well for this assignment. Here's another image, just a close-up of some gears in machinery, but I really like the interaction of the gears. I like the leading lines working their way across the frame, and I think the color set here, kind of our yellow reds working against the blues here, works pretty well, and really nice control over the light that's hitting off angle here in this scene. One last picture to take a look at. Well, there might be one more, I don't know, we'll see. An old British style postage stamp dispenser that the faceplate's been saved from. So a little bit of copper, a little bit of brass in there, and some nice backing metal there that gives us that little rusty texture in the center. I think it's kind of a cool look. Really nice symmetry and pattern in this frame, so I'm real happy with that. All right, let's take a look at some of the rules of composition that matter to us here. Rule of thirds is obviously something that we've seen throughout these pictures as we've looked at them. Balance, I think, is pretty critical here, both from the standpoint of tonal balance and from subject balance, but again, a little geometric balance doesn't hurt here as well. And then last but not least, with rust, in a lot of cases, that point of view is really going to control how obvious that rust is and how the texture presents itself to you. All right, one last slide, and that is our format specification for images that you are going to export and upload for the semi-monthly image critique. Here's an example of a name for an image from today's date in our naming standard. If none of this makes sense to you, take a look at the Update 01 video, for which there is a link in the description below. You'll also find the link for the upload URL that you see here on this slide, so you can upload these images to Google Drive for future consideration in our image critiques. And last but not least, as long as you're out there clicking a bunch of links, click that red subscribe button. It's a pretty awesome link too. All right. Shake off the rust in your bones and get out there and shoot some pictures of rust. And remember, while you're out there shooting those pictures of rust, learning equals skills. Practice equals mastery. We'll see you out there.